Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is James with JB-Barbell. What today's video is about is me attempting to squat every single day for 30 days and kind of just see how that goes. The programming I used, I actually came up with myself for this, reason being because I kind of wanted to just have fun with it. So right now you'll see me just doing a few stretches to get ready for those two movements, mostly the front squat right now. I wasn't really warming up for the bench at this point, so I start off with some lunge steps, trying to push my hips into the ground. I really like this stretch. I feel like it is definitely one worth doing for any squatting movement and really helps. Now this next movement is me just stretching my wrists. I honestly like this one for front squats. I feel like this helps quite a bit. Feel free to play around with this. The reason it's important to go ahead and stretch your wrists so that you can get your elbows nice and high and rest the bar racked up against your neck, just held in place, kind of guided by your fingertips. This backwards stretch of the wrists is one I actually don't like so much, but it is definitely good. Last, I have Russian baby makers. On this, I'm focusing on pushing my knees out. Now, I would suggest doing more stretches than what I've shown you in this video. Those are just a few of the things that I was doing, some ones that I feel like help a lot for the front squat. So I'm starting off at 95 pounds, which to me personally is relatively light. I like to start light. I would suggest just doing the bar first and moving up from there, moving up in small increments. But you don't have to do all 3 reps every single time. This is just me working up to the weight that I wanted to do for my sets of 3x6. Next, I move on to 135 for 3 reps, followed by 185. You'll see me doing 3 reps every single time. I don't mind the volume. Personally, I want the volume, but also I believe in doing everything. Because I'm not going for a 1 rep max, I don't mind doing all 3 reps each time. That way, every time I step up to the bar, I know I'm always doing 3 reps. It's going to be the same throughout. I went ahead and coupled the squatting every day with benching and deadlifts to also potentially get stronger at those, as well as I feel the deadlifts will help the squat. Now, day 1 is front squats and benching. I simply thought this would be a fun training cycle to try. I do hope to possibly make some gains and PRs in my squat at the end of the 30 days. I guess we will see, though. You might notice every time I walk up to the bar, I will push myself into the bar and then push myself away. What I'm doing right there is same idea as doing 3 squats every time, but it's me breathing in as I pull myself into the bar and out as I push myself away from the bar. That way when I go in on the 3rd rep, I always take one last deep breath. This way I know I'm nice and tight and ready to go ahead and go down to the bottom of the squat. I'll start jumping a little slower. So next I go to 205, followed by 225. Again, trying to make sure every rep looks the same. Now with back squats, it's a good idea to go ahead and get positioned underneath the bar before stepping out. You'll notice I have a lunge step that I use when I step out from underneath the bar. This can be energy wasting if you need to balance on that front foot. I find I like it. It helps because I can launch myself almost underneath the bar, swinging my arms up fast, lifting it off the rest, and then proceeding to take a step back and go ahead and squat. It's just a preference of mine. Okay, I'm on set 2 of 245 pounds is what I ended up going up to. Next, you'll notice, before I go ahead and go into my next front squat, I'll take a deep breath. You'll see my heels pop up. What I'm doing, and again, it's probably not correct by any means, but what I'm doing is I'm driving the bar up a little bit and coming back down. When I do this and the bar is slightly off my neck, chest area for a split second, and that's when I take another breath so I can be tight. So this is just me in my garage gym. I'm currently in the process of getting a larger facility, which I hope to be able to film in the future. Now, I know I chose the right weight because I feel like I need to rest after completing a set before at least I can attempt another successful set of 3 reps. The front squat is actually one of my favorite movements, probably because I am quad dominant. The only problem with this is it causes me to come up on my toes. This is something I need to work on, remembering to keep the weight in my heels. Now, my current 1 rep max for a front squat is 305 pounds. To give you an idea, my back squat is 315. These are both numbers I want to see drastically higher, which 245 would put me about 80%. One thing I don't think I've mentioned so far is hand placement. I like to start, I'll place my thumb inside the knurling, and I find this is what works best for me. After the 30 days are up, I will be testing 1 rep maxes. Now, I know a month is a very small time to really make any significant gains, but again, I'm just playing with this to see how I like it for potential future use. Now, the squat is not the only movement that I will be doing in these 30 days. What I'll be testing for at the end are 1 rep maxes for the deadlift, the bench press, overhead squat, back squat, front squat, and clean and jerk as well. When I do test these, I'll have about a day of rest in between each 1 rep max that I test, and I will be doing 2 on the same day. Now, this programming that I've written for myself is only accessory work. I will be doing CrossFit on top of this. Alright, that was a lot of squats. If you've managed to stick through this long, congratulations. We've only got one more thing left, and that is bench press, and I promise this will go a lot faster. The bench press, aka man's best friend. Joke, not joke. We all love to bench. It's rewarding, and let's admit it, it's one of those questions you're going to hear most often. What's your bench? Now, being a CrossFitter, benching is not something we do a lot of, so introducing this to my routine over the next 30 days, I am expecting to see some results. I like to start by positioning my feet alongside the feet of the bench. Now, it doesn't matter where you choose to place yours. What this does do for me is help put me in the same spot underneath the bar every single time. Like every movement, though, consistency is key. From there, you'll be able to tweak based off your body and your individual preferences. There is an arch in my back. It's just not exaggerated. I am pinching my shoulder blades together. I'll take a deep breath. I'll lift the bar up and away from the rack, then descend the bar towards my chest. My first rep typically is always slower, as I want to make sure I have control over the weight as I descend down. I'm doing 5 sets of 5 at about 80% of my 1 rep max. To increase strength with this rep scheme, you want to be using at least 70% of your 1 rep max, ideally 80 though. Some people like wide grips, some like theirs closer inwards. Everyone's different, so you got to find what works best for you. My grip width always starts with my thumbs at the start of the knurling. Using a thumb's distance, I then grip the bar. If it feels uncomfortable, I can always inch my hands in or out evenly from there. Finding a grip width that allows your forearms to be perpendicular to the floor gives you the most pressing power. You'll notice the height in which I've chosen to place the bar when I unrack. It's not too high, which could cause me to lose the pinch of my shoulder blades and my positioning, and not too low, which could seem like a rep in itself. I'd love to hear back from any of you who go ahead and try this programming. So, almost done with sets 4 and 5. And that will about wrap everything up. I enjoyed making this video for y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, just let me know down below, and I will definitely get back to you. So, just want to say thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe down below.